Yo, what it is, what it was, and what it shall be. It's your boy, the CSO Radio Chief Steppin Off. So, welcome to another edition of the business of stepping. Yes. This is where we talk all things stepping and all things business and everything else in between. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you've seen the flyers and heard all uh, the rumor mill has been true. Yes, I have the one and only Trina Allure from Steppin in Huntsville on the show with me today. So, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. First of all, let me tell you, you are not on here just because your birthday is February 23rd.
I'm not. Oh wow, I thought
Well,
that's
you
what
are.
it was
I just
about.
wanted I just wanted to put
Just
it out
like,
there. You know, it's just that's my Pisces birthday twin right there.
that's right. We
So hey,
twins.
welcome to the show.
Okay.
Want to jump right in and talk a little bit about you, and then we'll go into all of the great things about stepping into Huntsville. So for those that don't know, give us a little rundown about you.
Okay. So again, my name is Trina, and I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I came to Alabama in 2005 on a full ride track scholarship. So that's how I got here. And, I end up staying and I skated and did other things and started stepping. And so that's a little basis, a little background story about me. Let's see, other than that, but then me skating and stepping, I used to box. I boxed for 6 years, and that was really beautiful. It's kind of like I had to keep going and keep my body active after I got done running. So that's the reason why I like to step as well.
So
But
you mean
that's a little bit about me.
like real like
Like real boxing, yeah, like
wow.
fighting. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's one thing, So, fellas, if she says no, she don't want to step. You better. Okay. So, wow. Well, that's why
Yeah.
you're in such great shape.
Thanks.
So, wow. Okay. So to go to Detroit from Detroit to Alabama,
hmm
and that
Yeah.
so
And
that made you stay.
it made me stay. Yeah. I have been here ever since. I mean, I was used to the Detroit lifestyle,
Hmm.
but I left around when I was about 18 years old. And I mean, I go back and forth, but I've been here technically ever since.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
What for those of us that have not been in the Alabama lifestyle? Because first of all, I was like, when I heard about, it, I was like, they step in Alabama.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So I mean, is it because you look at the movies and you see Alabama, you think country and
Right. A whole bunch of farms and
yeah,
animals and stuff like that. Yeah, I
right,
thought the same thing. It is. But, I'm in the city part. I'm in the city limits. So it's a
okay,
little different. But I still see the cows and the chickens and stuff like that and trailers. But, you know, that's the stereotype of the South. But they
oh,
step here for sure. Oh, yeah.
wow,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
okay,
We get down in the South now. Even though I'm from up north, you know.
right, right.
Yeah.
So all right, is there a lot of stepping that goes on there? I mean, a
Oh yeah, it's a lot of stepping. Like
lot of
we
stepping.
step at least we have about three different stepper socials every week that we go to in
Okay.
Huntsville. Yeah, for
Hmm.
sure. So yeah, we're stepping on well, not a daily basis, but like basically, yeah. It's a lot of stepping going on.
Okay. More
Yeah.
than once a week. So
Oh
okay.
yeah, it's more than once a week. Classes, everything. So I'll be out about three times a week, either at a class or stepping in general.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with as we talk about okay, let's just jump right into it then. Stepping in Huntsville. How did that
Yeah.
happen?
So it happened in, let's see, about 2022 ish area. Kevin and I came up with the bright idea to start stepping in Huntsville. Let's do something different. Let's bring unity to the community. Let's put some little, add some little pizzazz to it. So we came up with the idea and it actually took off. It's a great idea that we came up with. And
Mhm.
I mean, I just hope everybody would love to come out to stepping in Huntsville and have a great time. So like I said, Kevin and I, we worked together well, and we came up with this idea. We put it together, put a lot of hard work into it, and it's starting to be a beautiful thing.
Okay. Okay. So it's
Mhm.
about Kevin Johnson. Shout out to
Kevin,
Tracy.
yes, Kevin Johnson, Kevin
Uh,
J. Johnson.
and you know, it's funny. Both of you are from the Midwest because I think he's from Minneapolis
Right,
and
Minnesota. Yep.
Minnesota. And I know getting tired of the snow would definitely make you go somewhere, to a
Make
warmer
you go
climate.
down south.
Yeah.
Right.
So now, when you guys put that together, was there stepping going on, like, when you guys first said, hey, you know what, I think we should do something.
Oh yeah, stepping was going on. Stepping always going on. You know what I mean? But
Okay.
definitely, yes, stepping was going on, and you know, like I said, it's always been stepping, but we just wanted to do something a little bit different with it.
Hmm.
With stepping, everybody likes to come out, they like to dress up. So we said, let's start triggering the men. Let's let them know that it's about them as well. Let's do male best dress contest. Let them go out there with their gaiters and they nice outfits and they tailor made suits. Let them show out. Let the women, express themselves while they're there stepping. Because we all working and we all have our own personal lives, but
Right.
you want to sometimes go somewhere where you could just let your hair down and have fun and enjoy yourself, then get back to your daily 9 to 5 job or whatever the case.
Hmm.
But stepping in Huntsville was for the people who want to come out and party, who want to have a good time, who want to see nice stylish outfits, we had a swimsuit contest at one time. And the women, they came out, they showed, they did their thing. They was high in confidence. They came out with their swimming suits and it was very entertaining, because you want to be entertained. You want to do something that you love and you want to go somewhere where you can do something that you love and have a great time. So that's what stepping in Huntsville is a combination of. It's a
Okay.
combination of unity, fun, letting your hair down, enjoying yourself, living life to the fullest,
Hmm.
just feeling free, so.
Speaking of feeling free, shout out to my good friend, Sunshine. Sunshine's in
Oh
the building.
yeah,
Checked in. Said, hey,
sunshine. That's my girl. Yeah.
yes, yes. So let's talk a little bit more about Step in Huntsville. So let's start from the beginning because I love, you guys as our promoters. And so this is, what year is this for you?
Year 3.
Third year. Okay.
Yes.
Uh, first year,
Hmm.
first time. Give us kind of a run, because see, a lot of people out here think that being a promoter is just easy. We're gonna find a place, throw a party, and everybody's gonna come out, and it's gonna be a great time and whoop you. Yeah, no, it's listening and talking to people. It's more, the
Oh
promoters have a
yeah.
lot more nuts and bolts in there in between. So, could you elaborate? Like, I would love to hear how you guys got started, and then we'll talk about to how it progressed to where you are now. So, how did, trials and tribulations? How did you get started? Y'all came together and said, okay, we're gonna throw this set. It's gonna be called Steppin' in Huntsville. Now what?
Right. So it's going to be called Steppin' in Huntsville. We got to find a nice spot because we want to have people coming from far and wide. We got to find a good venue, a place. You got to have a good floor. You got to have air conditioner. Because see, for my first event, we had air conditioner, but it went out, and I didn't know the severity of it, but it still end up being a great event, but
Hmm.
it's certain things that you got to do in the background. Like I said, find a nice event center. You got to have a nice floor. You got to have the DJs. The DJs, certain people, a lot of the stepper community, they like great music. They like to feel the music. So you got to get those DJs that's going to play it, that's going to make you get out there and dance and feel your best. You got to have the DJs. And I'm kind of like, if everybody's coming out, and Kevin is too, we're like, we got to feed them. You got to have good food. You got to have a nice sound system, because it's easy to say, well, yeah, just get any DJ. No, you got to get one of the best DJs, and they all good. And some of them are great, but you got to get the great DJs. You got to get the nice, smooth floors. You got to get the good sounds. You got to find a nice venue. You got to support other parties. It's about networking, building relationships. All of that comes behind the scenes. It's not just, hey, we're just going to rent out a venue and have some food and tell people to come. No, you got to go to these parties. You got to, interact with thousands of people, you know, have a good personality. It's a lot of things that go into it, you know, when you are a promoter, you know, and it seems easy, but it's not. It's not an easy thing, you know, but at the same time, it's well worth it in the end, you know, because you get to meet a lot of people, different personalities. You get to see a lot of different styles of dressing. You know, a lot of people that give you game about this. If they're promoters too, they'll
Mhm.
sit you down and tell you what you need to do, the ins and outs. You know what I'm saying? Kevin is one of the people. He is like, hey, this is the ins and outs. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And I'm like, okay, we're definitely gonna do this and definitely gonna do that. And my input too. But you know, I met a lot of different promoters, and a lot of people will explain to you what to do, what not to do, because it's about the steppers, and you gotta basically do things that'll align with them so they can feel comfortable and also feel like they want to come and support you all the way in Alabama, you know, because you know a lot of people, a lot of our crowd is, you know, from Chicago too, and it's a lot of stepping in Chicago in general. So if you want people to come from Chicago or wherever else where they're stepping as well, you got to have a nice, you have to have a nice venue. You have to have certain things in place, you know, enough seating, nice, you know, decorations inside. You know, you got to make it look nice. We have red carpets, so when the people walk in, you know, we have like a photographer, and the person walk in off that red carpet, and we taking the pictures like, you know, you important, you know, come on, walking down this red carpet, you a superstar, you know, you here in Huntsville. So you know,
Cool.
that's
You just
the
covered a
promoter.
whole lot of the gambit in there. So a lot of great information, and people that are thinking about being a promoter, it's a lot of information nuggets you just dropped. So a couple of them that stand out to me was the first one was promoters, other promoters. So
Mhm.
from I guess from your experience, you're saying that there hasn't, I mean, for the most part, the promoters are sticking together and they're giving advice. They're not holding on to information so that you don't, because one of the things that we hear is that as we circulate this black dollar,
Mhm.
some people have said, oh, if I go to California, I can't make it to Alabama, or if I go to Alabama, I can't make it to Texas, or if because the black dollar only circulates so far. So
Right.
so you're saying that the promoters have not had that mindset. They've been like opening the floodgates for you.
Well, the promoters that I've ran into, you know, not every single promoter I've seen, but the ones that I've ran into that felt the need to tell me the ins and outs, they wasn't, you know, we'll talk about the economics of it, you know, but it was more so of what to do and what not to do. You know, it wasn't I didn't get like a cold shoulder in that area with other promoters. Everybody was welcome with open arms to me, and I guess it's about your personality too. If
Hmm.
you are welcoming and open and kind, I think you will, whatever you put out you'll receive, you know. And if they agree with what you're doing and they see it's a good cause, I feel like people with stepping in Huntsville, I feel like some of the promoters that I've ran into may feel like it's a, you know, they like it. It's a good cause. They like to see it growing and flourishing. So I can tell her to do A, B, and C, you know, versus just speaking and saying, hey, how you doing? You know, and letting you go on because they know that I'm doing this game. So
Yeah, and
I feel like
especially
they're
now after this interview. So if they don't answer you right, you might just, you know,
not.
that left cross might just
Just knock about her. Just
So now another thing that you just talked about, the importance of DJs, because this is something near and dear to me, close to home. Of course, club stepping
Mhm.
DJs. Um, there's a plethora from California, New York of DJs out here now, stepping DJs. So from the DJ side, we've heard complaints that they pick the same old DJs, and we've heard that. Also, we've heard why don't you get your local DJs? So we hear the gambit of those inner talkings on Club Stepping. So as a promoter, I would like to ask you how do you what makes you pick a DJ? Do you just say, what makes you get the? Now, first of all, I tell you, kudos to you. You gave all the DJs the good DJ awards. That was great. You did a great. I would say it. All DJs ain't good. I've heard some that I'd be like, that's another story. But
I
anyway,
haven't heard them all yet,
right,
but you
right.
know, for the
So
most
so
part.
so
Hmm.
from your like you said, you want to pick the great DJs for your set. What
Right.
what makes you pick the great DJs?
Well, because I'm trying to look at it as a stepper, not from not from the business side of it. If I'm looking at it from the non-business side of it, and I'm looking at it in third party, like I would try to, if it was me and I'm going to somebody's party, I know it's like, see, I don't want to name names. I'm just
Right.
going to say the people on my flyer because I don't want nobody to feel like I'm leaving them out. But I'm just going to say, for instance, we got Pony Mac. Now, Pony Mac is, I believe he's from Chicago, but he lives out here in Alabama.
Right.
He's a great DJ. I like the way he plays. It's about how he can interact with the crowd, keep the crowd moving. Myron the R does the same thing. Samsonite. Now I'm speaking about them because they're gonna be at our event coming up.
Hmm.
And I've seen other DJs do it as well, like Shorty Smooth, everybody else that I've seen, but the ones that I feel like, and I watch the majority of steppers, I watch how they migrate to, let's say, Myron, which will be at our event, and I watch how Myron controlled the crowd. Because if the tempo is the energy level, like if you keep a party at a certain level, people may sit down. They may not feel like, oh, I'm gonna come back, or this was worth the while. So I kind of look out for that. How the DJ, the type of equipment he had. Can you hear? Is it static? Does he have a great sound system? The sound system matters.
Hmm.
How it's sounding in the room, the interaction that you can have, like the networking with them, because that's another thing. You want to build relationships with the DJs, and that's networking. Have a good relationship with them, work with them, tell them what you need, and y'all bounce off each other,
Hmm.
because you're trusting in the DJ to keep your party going, keep that momentum, keep everybody, ready to stay, not ready to go.
Hmm.
Because we at a party, we're enjoying ourselves. We're not here to just sit down. We could have stayed at home for that.
Right. Right.
So that's what I look for. If I'm looking for a DJ, I'm looking for somebody with the pizzazz. I'm looking for who's hot. I'm looking for who can keep the crowd moving, who know how to manage and direct the crowd,
Hmm.
because some people like to line dance, some people like to walk, some people like to dance fast, some people, so if you're basically contributing to everybody, then that basically cover all your bases. Then you can look at all the steppers and feel good as a promoter and say everybody's dancing, everybody's feeling it. So those are the type of people that I look for when I'm looking for a DJ. Somebody that can control the crowd, keep the crowd going, keep
Hmm.
them, try to basically do everything that the crowd needs, because that's who it's about. So that's
Hmm.
one thing I look for when I'm looking for DJs in general.
So you have to. So basically, so the DJs have to uh, kind of audition at their places for you to see them.
No, they don't have to see. When I go to anywhere and I look and see who the DJ is, I'm
Mhm.
checking them out.
Okay.
Like, I'm listening to the music they play, and I'm looking at how the crowd is interacting with the music. And I'll be like, no, I might want that person, or I might want that person next year.
Okay.
It's not necessarily a audition per se. It's more so as an observation, if I feel like they're a good fit for stepping
Sure.
in Huntsville,
Got
or are they a good fit for the steppers that I'm asking to come to our event,
it. Hmm.
because it's not about me. I'm trying to look at it from a broader spectrum for everybody.
Right. Right. So Kenneth Wynn checked in talking about Pony Mac. Said, yeah, he's from Chicago. Of course he is, man. Pony Mac got that southern South Side draw, and he'd be like, "Hey, man, so my hat
He
be
does.
bang." He'd be like, "Hey,
Got his
man."
hat cocked.
That's a Chicago thing. So yeah,
That's
shout out
okay.
to Pony Mac. So it's cool. All right. So now here's a question I have as a promoter. let's say I am uh, I'm DJ Party Lights, and I'm a new DJ that's on the scene, and I come up to you and be like, Trina, I heard Steppin in Huntsville. How can I get down? Because I'm sure there's a lot of DJs out there because that's one of the big questions that a lot of people ask with DJs asking promoters, how can they get on? So, in your opinion, DJ Party Lights, unknown DJ, says I got some heat, man. I'm the next Pony Mac. What I gotta do?
You gotta play. You gonna have to you gonna have to play. I'm gonna have to hear you. Because again, it's not necessarily an audition. It's for the people, Lamont. I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
tell you. So I do feel like the new DJs, they definitely need a chance. They got to start from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, will I just say if he say he the new Pony Mac, will I replace him just because he said it? No, because I got the original Pony Mac. And if he is playing as good as Pony Mac, then that's beautiful. I may hear him, and I may consider. I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, let me get your information because I'm a network. Okay, what else you do? You do this, okay, you do that. Because a lot of DJs, they may say, I'm a photographer, or I do video, or so forth and so on. They may be a jack of all trades. So I'll ask them, but I'll ask them too, like, okay, so where you be playing at? Or if they're gonna play at a different party, I might, if I'm going to that party, let's just say that I'm gonna be listening,
Okay.
and if I feel like they're a good fit for Steppin' in Huntsville, then yeah. But just off the whim, no, I'm not gonna break the relationship that I got with my DJs just because someone said, "Hey, I gotta, make sure that it's a fit." With promoting, you gotta make sure everything is a fit. You just can't listen to someone say, "Oh, I got the best floor in town. I got the best speakers." You can hear until you've been somewhere and heard it and can verify, okay, that's a good fit for your brand.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So so there you go. Thank you, because a lot of these DJs always ask how could they get on with promoters. So let me ask you, how how important is it as a promoter to kind of make your way? I mean, like as a promoter, do you is because Stepping has grown so large now. It's gone
Yeah.
from just like this to like if you pull out a Stepper's calendar now you got to pull it out this way, then you got to pull it out this way. Look at the month, and back in the day it was only a couple little places that you had to worry about bumping heads with. Now
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty much every week you got to sit there and be like, it's like
You got to pick and
oh, I
choose.
can't. As if I do this, it's going to affect. I mean, it can go as far as California or New York, looking at your set. So, how is that as a? So, do you have to as a promoter? You got to make all those sets.
You're gonna try to. You want to try to make as many sets as you possibly could, and that's not easy. Not easy. I see a lot of people, and I'll be like, wow, they at every party, and if you can make every party, because it's again, when you're a promoter, it's about networking. That is one of the biggest things, networking, building relationships, trying to work together, because at the same time, it's a brand, it's your business. You're trying to make it grow. You're trying to do this to, so everybody can have a good time.
Hmm.
So you're basically just, you're trying and you're trying and you're trying. But I feel like as a promoter, and as me just basically being a promoter, let's say for 4 years now. Well, this is my third year, so I'm gonna say 3.5 because I technically was one before I threw the
Okay.
party. You gotta just keep pushing. You gotta keep networking. You gotta keep going to different parties. You gotta make as many parties as you can because you gotta support. Another thing in this game too is support. You have to support others and they'll support you. You can't just throw a party and think that you can not support nobody else and people will come to your event.
Okay.
It doesn't work like that. You have to show that you showing admiration to someone else,
Hmm.
and in return, more than likely they'll show admiration to you. True enough, it's plenty of parties, plenty. Like you said, every week. I can't make them all, but I try to make as many as I can. If it's 100, I'm gonna try to make 70 of them, or
Okay.
50. But in realistic terms, it's kind of like I'm gonna try to make as many as I can because you can't make them every week. You just can't.
Right.
It's
Right.
impossible.
I ain't got enough frequent flyer miles for that. You
I don't
can't.
know who do. Some people do, but unfortunately, you gotta get out there, promote, meet with the other promoters, go to other people's parties. You gotta spend money to go to those events too. Those hotels,
Mhm.
finding out you gotta look good, you gotta find an outfit. So you gotta pay to play in a sense in that world. So
Gotcha, gotcha. Hey,
hmm
we're hanging out with Trina Allure from Steppin in Huntsville, right here on the business of Steppin. We're gonna take a quick pause for the cause. We're gonna pay some bills, do a commercial, and come back. We got some other questions, so don't go anywhere.
All right, my friends, mark your calendars. It's going down Saturday, May 3rd. First Saturday of the month. You know, I'm talking about the clubsteppin.com day set. It happens every first Saturday at River Oaks Mall, food court. We'll be playing some line dancing and great stepping music and more. It goes down from 12 noon to 6 p.m. and we'll be broadcasting live. Cost is absolutely free, and if you want to have your birthday with us, then give us a call, 773-770-5915. So come on out, tell a friend. It's going down Saturday, May 3rd, 12 noon to 6 p.m. at River Oaks Mall Food Court. TheClubSteppin.com day set.
Oh yeah, day sets. Pretty nice here in Chicago. So we do that. It's Club Steppin. It's our way of giving back to the community. Cost is free. We just want people to come out, have a good time from noon to six. It's fun. So I know Trina, when you're in Chicago, we definitely want you to invite you to come down, and I'll get on the box and I'll play. Not audition. I'll play. See if I can hang with all you important people out there. I
I'm
even turn my
sure.
hat way sideways. I could be like Pony Mac. Hey man, yeah, I'm telling you.
Not the head to the side like pony.
So listen, let me ask you. So you brought up a great topic, the economic side,
hmm
because again, like I said, and the purpose of this is to kind of let everybody know it's more than just it's more than just getting together and throwing a party and saying yay and do some stuff. So from an economic standpoint, because uh, as overall, when I look at it, I see the hall, I see the sound system, the DJ, the marketing, the flyers, the hotels. I think there's certain people that you have to fly in, your
Flying.
instructors,
hmm
and so am I missing anything?
You're on the right track.
Okay,
Flying.
so
Yeah, the
that
floor,
all
food.
that together sounds like a whole lot of money.
hmm
So
Yeah.
and I say that because so that justifies the prices for tickets and when you look at it,
Yes.
even from an economic standpoint, if you look at it from a break even analysis, the average it sounds like the average event needs a minimum of 100 plus just to achieve break even status at a certain rate. And I'm not even talking about the small $10 or $20 party. I'm talking about you guys with your weekends. So when you do those, so it's really advantageous to get those fire sales and all that stuff when y'all do it. Because
hmm
am I missing anything? Is there something else you want to add to it as far as the
No, you're on the right path. You're on
economic?
the right path. Yeah.
Okay, so
hmm
that brings here's my question. I'm going to ask every promoter on the show. So uh, with all that, and I mean I'm sure all y'all balling out of control, but why do you do it? Why with those type of overheads and non-guaranteed, because nothing's guaranteed.
Right.
You can't even throw it. You also got to throw in the fact of weather and planes and all that stuff. So y'all still go in it like, okay, this can work, and we're gonna do this every year, and here you go. So why?
you gotta love it. You gotta love what you do. You know, some people, they may go to work and they don't like their job, you know, and they may not give full effort because they don't want to be there. But as far as for me, I love it. I like promoting. I like interacting. You know, I don't go in it with the mindset of, what if they don't come? I'm not gonna, this ain't gonna happen. You get take 2 steps forward, you get knocked 10 steps. That ain't my mindset. My mindset, because I feel like if you think like that, it's bound to happen. So I kind of just pursue it as if, like how with life, like it's gonna do it or it's not. You put the effort in and you hope for the best. You don't necessarily know if all the people are going to come, if it's going to rain out, if it's going to be an issue with the planes, if something going to happen with the hotel, is somebody going to get sick. You just kind of go in it with open arms and straight faith, as if the floor going to be good, all the DJs going to make it, all the planes going to arrive, everybody's going to enjoy their room, the food going to be great, the sound system going to be nice, the air going to work in the event center. It's enough tables. You got water on the outside perimeters.
Mm-hmm.
You got somebody up there with the cash box. Somebody watching the door. The T-shirts they selling. You gotta just put in your mind that it's all going to work. And you're gonna have some discrepancy. Something is gonna go out of whack. It's not gonna go all as planned. But I'm not looking or planning to fail. I'm not looking for the worst in it. But
Mm-hmm.
So with
it's
all that
uh-huh.
with all that happening, you still put a smile on and still go out there, step in, and
I'm out there. I still go out there with all, like, let's go, with all like a warrior. Just keep fighting, because things is bound to happen, and you just gotta balance it out. You just can't. You gotta improvise. If something don't work or somebody can't make it, you gotta fix it. You gotta adjust it so it can all play out. So everybody can have a good time, and you want to put your money up. You want to make sure, now, like you were saying, you may break even or whatever the case, but you got to make sure you try to plug as many parties and attend many parties as you can, and network with people. You got to build relationships. You got to get out there. You can't do it if you're not out there
okay,
with faith, because
right.
with anything, if you feel like you ain't going to make it, you'll want to quit. And if you don't like it, then you're more prone to give up. But when you enjoy it, and I can go out there and work and dance and have fun, it's like it's the perfect combination, because I get to do everything, at the same time. You get to build relationships, dance, you get to pass out fires. So that's a considered promoting and working and networking. So it's a combination, but you got to enjoy it, and you can't go on it with a negative mindset. You can't always, like in life, I don't look at stuff like, oh, what if my tire go, or what if it go bad? True enough, things is gonna happen. It's gonna be roadblocks, but you just gotta move them out the way and keep going. And this type of, as a promoter, just
Mm-hmm.
keep going, especially if this is something you really want to do. And Kevin and I, we love it. We're trying to bring unity to the community. We love throwing parties. I love seeing people dance, have fun, because I like going to parties.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So,
So
so basically, and this goes on record. This is awesome. So you are not in this for the money.
So no, I'm not in it just for the money. No,
Mm-hmm.
no, 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 no. I'm in it because it's fun. It's like I used to skate, so I used to skate and travel and see the same type of things. It was just skating, and people
Mm-hmm.
didn't know people traveled to skate, just like people don't know that people travel to step. It's a real thing. It's a whole nother world, and people don't know about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it's fun. You get to see so many things, and I'm a person that likes music. And sometimes it doesn't matter, like, we all have worries, things that we deal with in our own life. But sometimes you can hear a song or be in a certain place, and all that stress and stuff and your worries just melt right off until you leave. Then you can pick all that negative or whatever going on
They be
when you
waiting for
leave
you.
the door on your way out. But
Right.
when you in there and you seeing your friends and you hearing your song and you can dance and release, it's a beautiful thing. So that's my take on that.
I Awesome. Okay. So as you you're not in it for the money. It's for the love. And
It's for
now
love.
how now here's a question I got for you. With you being from Detroit, living in Alabama, how important is it to go to the Mecca, Chicago?
It's
And-
very important. It's very important to go up there. I'm always there. I try
Mhm,
to go as much as I can. Like for instance, when I go home, which is about 10 hours from here,
mhm.
um, I shoot over to Chicago. Anytime I go home to see my family, I shoot over to Chicago as
Okay.
much as I can. But it's very important to go to Chicago. That's where the stepping originated. I think that's where everybody needs to go, and especially too if you're trying to get your, not to say you can't go anywhere else and learn to dance, but I feel like that's where all the OGs of the stepping is in Chicago.
Hmm.
And when I go, I get to dance. You can dance all day basically if you ain't at Donnie Davis class, or you at, well, I don't know if it's Heroes Blue, or I think it's,
The heroes.
Heroes is closed down, right? But it's not Blue Note. Trying to think of the other one, but they open at 5. Is it Blue Note?
Well, no. I mean, well,
No,
they do their thing there, but then there's another place. You talking about the R line,
50-yard line.
50 yard. Okay, 50 yard line. Yeah, with Calvin. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
Shout
know,
out
you
to
go over
Calvin.
there, and
Mhm.
then at nighttime, somebody like Pete or somebody throwing a party. It's always a stepping party. So
Yes.
it don't matter when I go, it's somebody having a party, and you get to dance and dance with all the steppers. That's there who know got the dance, got it good, and you can just learn so many things. When I go to Chicago and I'm out there stepping, I'm out there learning. I'm taking notes every
Okay.
chance I get, you know.
So it's always good to go back and step with the
Oh
OGs.
yes. Oh
Okay.
yeah. It's always good to go to the home of stepping, of course.
Now
You know.
you're a young looking lady, so uh, we would probably throw you in the new school steppers category. Uh, so as a stepper, are you a new schooler or are you a old school classics or what's your personal take? What do you like?
I am definitely old school, original.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's my take. I do a little bit of new school. It's good to be double breasted in this dance. But when I first got into the dance, I was attracted to the old school part of it, or the original. However, that was where my heart laid and lies now today. But um, I mean, like I said, I do like the new school. I actually enjoy walking too. But for the main part of it, I'm definitely old school.
Okay, okay. Don't say
Yeah.
you like walking too loud. Reggie might pop up somewhere out
Reggie
of here.
Miles gonna keep walking alive.
Yeah,
You already know
right. He'll
he
pop
gonna
on
keep
there.
walking alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So
definitely
listen,
old school. Hmm.
let's jump into and talk about your event, Steppin in Huntsville, July 25th to the 27th.
Yes.
It's a lot of great parties you got lined up. So give us kind of let everybody know the breakdown of what's happening from Friday to Sunday.
No problem. So again, it's July 25th through the 27th, here in Huntsville, Alabama. We got Friday. Friday we got the all white party, and the all white party is gonna be from 8 to 2. Then we got Saturday morning. We have a workshop with Drew and Christine,
Hmm.
and then we have a workshop with Westside Mike and Sherry Gordon right after.
Okay.
And then we're gonna have a day party. That's Saturday, and then at night we're gonna have the main event. And the main event is from 7 to 2. We're also gonna serve dinner around 9 p.m.
Okay.
Um,
This is gonna be
we
like
also
is this gonna be like a real dinner or are we getting a couple little crackers and
what? Y'all gonna have the exquisite dinner.
the exquisite dinner?
I just
Okay.
went,
Okay.
I just went. But no, it's gonna be a very nice dinner.
Hmm.
Good high quality food. According to everybody last year, you're gonna have some salads and some good chicken and mashed potatoes and stuff like that with the dressing, and they probably gonna pour it. It's like I'm just playing, but it's gonna be great food. And that's gonna be served at 9 p.m. And again, we're gonna have a male best dress contest, which we've had for the last 3 years, where we have all the men come out in their gaiters or their maids or tailor-made suits, and
Mhm.
they show their outfits and show with their style. They got their hats, some got them cocked, some, you know, got the stingy brim or whatever the case, but the male best dress contest is, yes, it is. It does have a cash prize, and that's on
Oh,
Saturday night.
okay.
Mhm.
Who's the judges for that?
So the judges is the crowd.
The crowd.
I
Okay.
let the crowd judge.
Okay.
I don't try to necessarily judge it. I let the crowd judge, and the crowd will basically, like for instance, we have Lady Cena News. She's gonna be there,
Hmm.
and she basically goes around and she asks the crowd, who do you guys think is the best? Who out here has the best outfit? That's talking about shoes, the stockings or the socks, the best coat, who the hat, the tie, everything, the handkerchief,
Hmm.
everything has to be cold blooded. And the ladies, the men, everybody's judging together, and they will pick. And Lady Sing the News, she will be hosting that.
Okay. So she's gonna do like her inner Vanna White and just
Oh yeah,
or
she's
Kiki
gonna
Shepherd.
yell them like Kiki Shepherd over
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
they're gonna,
I
yes, round of applause. And they're
I
gonna,
can see her doing that. I can see that. That's
oh
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes, that's what she's gonna be doing July
Excellent.
26th.
Okay.
So
Shout
yes.
out to Lady Sings the News. Yeah.
Yes, ladies and news, she's gonna be in the building. However, then that Sunday we have Cheryl Poe and Drew doing a workshop, a walking workshop.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and that's gonna be from 11 a.m. to 12:30. Yes, and then after that we're gonna have the day set from 12:30 to 5. So
Okay. Now, all that you mentioned
mhm.
is there all of that's included in the 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 pass?
Yes. Yes, everything is included in the pass. Now,
Wow.
if we're doing an $85 special right now.
Okay. And how can they get those, or how can they get it from you, get those passes or tickets? Because
So,
are they still available?
yes. So they can go to steppeninhuntsville.com. If they go to steppeninhuntsville.com, they can pull up the link and they can click on the link, which is our website, and
Hmm.
they can purchase tickets off of there, or they can go on Kevin J. Johnson page, or they can go on Trina Allure page, which is my page, and they
Okay.
can purchase tickets on our online website.
Gotcha. So it sounds like one event that they don't want to miss.
Oh
3 years
no,
and happen. All that's included. Okay. So
yes, all that's included.
now tell us a little bit. Let's talk about the place that you're holding the event. Uh,
Okay,
give us some information, because one of the things I've noticed that steppers are very picky about the flow. You know.
right.
And-
Yeah, that's what we dancing at. You gotta have a nice floor.
right.
It's gotta
Right.
be
So.
smooth. You know, Women like to wear heels, and you
Mhm.
don't want your foot getting caught in them little grooves. Throw your dance off, and you want
Right.
to be out there as smooth as you can be. We didn't went and got our hair done, got some nice outfits, did our makeup. We looking good, and last thing we want to do is trip.
Right.
You know, so no, the floor has to be nice. It's going to be held at the Jackson Event Center here in Huntsville, Alabama,
Okay. Gotcha.
and it's a nice big venue, and we're gonna have a great floor so the women and the men can come out, and the men, they can slide and hit their moves, and the women will feel safe to do turns and spins or whatever the case, and not get caught on the floor. So
Okay. Great. Great.
yeah, so that's where to be held at the Jackson Event Center. All of the events, it's going to be a total of 5 parties, and they're all going to be held at the Jackson Event Center.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about the some of the hotels, because it's out of towners.
Hmm.
Where are we staying at?
So the hotels are the Residence Inn and the Fairfield Inn,
Hmm.
which is 4 minutes away from the event center.
Okay.
So you don't have to drive far. And in that surrounding area, you got like Walmart, you have shopping plazas all around the hotels, food, eateries. If you need to go to Walmart across the street, if you want something to eat, and then if you want to go to the event center, it's only 4 minutes up the road. Both of the hotels is in, 4 minutes away, close proximity.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So it's a quick,
Hmm.
easy drive, just right there.
Right. It's a quick, easy drive.
Okay.
Correct.
That was another question I had as a promoter. When you look
Hmm.
at choosing, because this is not the first place. I think you guys were started at the Space Center, was it? Or where did you when you're choosing a place,
Hmm.
where do you are those some of the things that come in effect? Do you say, okay, well, this is close to this and that, and you know?
Right. You want to have, like, anytime somebody come out of town or you have somebody coming to your city, you want to sometimes have it around a main attraction or something that's interesting to the people that's coming in. Like, for instance, when we first started, we had did it at this place called the Marriott, but it was like a space and rocket center.
Okay.
And Huntsville is known for rocket ships.
Hmm.
So they have this huge rocket ship, and that's a good attraction for everybody that's coming from out of town. All the steppers, they can look at this rocket ship, and they had a rocket ship museum that they can go to that was right next to our main event center, So that was like a main attraction. So anytime if somebody say, well, I'm coming to Chicago, what's going on? We try to, as promoters, we're like, well, what can we give what can wow them?
Right.
What can we be so they can be like, oh, I didn't know y'all was doing it like this in Huntsville, or I didn't know you was doing it like this in Chicago, so forth and so on. So when you're looking for a place, you're looking for somewhere nice, clean, um, where it's in a good area. Parking, you want to have nice, good parking too, because people they don't want to have to be parking across the street, trying to walk across cars coming. You
Right.
want to have a nice, large parking lot so everybody can get in and out. If it does rain, you close to the building. So
Hmm.
you have to account for all of those things. Again, you want to make sure that the air conditioner is working, it's clean, the bathrooms is nice. It's spacious. You got the correct setups for where you have your DJs coming in. They got everything they need. All the lights working. Different things like that. Some people like projectors or having lights flickering. You want to make sure that even when you go and get these events or do the contracts, you want to, make sure you do like a walkthrough and make sure everything meets for your requirements. Because you don't want to just pick anything. You don't want to just, when you have people coming flying to your city, they're
Hmm.
entrusting that you're going to give them somewhere where they can feel comfortable, clean, and relaxed. They don't want to be where it's tight and it's hot or cold, or you falling and the carpet tripping you up. You want to have something,
Right. Right. So
yeah, good.
so you've got two host hotels. Um,
Yes, the Residence Inn and the Fairfield Inn.
okay.
Yeah, and
So.
that's on the website too. If you want, like, if you go on the website to purchase a ticket,
Mhm.
you can also book your room on there as well.
Oh, okay. So, is there any advantages or disadvantages to either one, or that? Uh,
No, they're both about equal, and they're right around the corner from each other. So
okay.
they're both within the same proximity, 4 minutes. So
So
yeah.
so you're not going to have people saying, "Oh, I'm over at the residence. Ew, you're over at the Marriott." So
I
it's
mean, some people may be like, I wish my friend is at the residency and I want to stay over there. But when it comes to the quality of the hotel, they're both, kind of the same in a
good
sense.
quality. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to have a hotel, well, like we say, a rinky dink or something. You don't want to have a hotel that's not up to par for people to come in. You don't want them to be nervous about things that I look at it as if it's myself. If I go to a hotel, I'm like, is it bed bugs? Look at the blank, everything, the tiles. You want to look like, you want to make sure everything is clean. So the
Mhm.
Fairfield and the Residence are both nice, fairly nice hotels, and they're only 4 minutes apart
Okay.
from the event center. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. So, one question that always uh, with you, I got a question for Trina Allure. So, with you being in this stepping world for a while, uh, the steppers etiquette as far as the guys, do you think that the guys should, I'm putting you on the spot, hopefully I don't get you in trouble, uh do you think the guys should dance with all of the women, or you know are you saying, okay, hey, you did four dances, you're good, go sit down? Or what's your take on as far as, because the truth of the matter is, right now, as we look at it, most stepper sets, the women outnumber the men.
Right.
So, do you think it's the kind of like the men's responsibility to grab all of these women and
So I look at it like this. Us as women, we go out, we get our hair done, our nails done, buy a brand new outfit, we get a hotel room, come to, buy a ticket and we come out to dance. So I will say, yes, I feel like men should at least try to dance with as many women as they can because I'm sure they know that the women are outnumbering the men. So I feel like men should come out and ask the women that have not. Now, I can't say that the men know if the woman danced or not, but I feel like they should. I feel like they should come out, ask the woman, hey, do you want to dance? Because we are outnumbering the men. That's why I try to focus on the men too, because I do want more men to come for the ladies, because I want
Mhm.
everybody to have a chance to dance. I don't want anybody to come and did not have a chance to dance. I know that has to be disheartening. So, from my perspective, I believe and I hope that the men will at least give, try to dance with as many women as they can. I understand people have their own preference where they want to dance with certain people because they may match their style or they vibe or they essence when they dancing. But I feel like everybody deserves a chance to dance when we all came out for the same cause. We're all here to dance, learn some things, and have fun. So yes, I believe that the men should do that. I think they should at least dance with everybody if they can. Now, I know they can't, but I feel like they should.
Okay, okay. So I got a confession, Trina, I'll tell you. So I don't come out and dance with everybody because if I start dancing with everybody, then Pete will see me and put me in the world's largest. Then I have to compete against Drew and all them, and I don't want to get them
Oh,
upset.
really?
I'm in my little lane of DJing. So then all of a sudden, it'd be like Lamont's the world's largest. So I just play my music.
I gotta see you dance. I haven't seen you dance before.
Exactly.
So,
That's my
so
story.
I gotta
So but
I
yeah, I
gotta
mean
see
you
it.
bring up a great point. So yeah, so fellas, definitely
Yeah, I think the fellas should, do it for the ladies. At
mhm,
least come out and dance with as many ladies as they can. Because as ladies, like I said, we come out and we don't want to be there all night and not get no dance.
right.
And I understand some people are like couples or married or whatever the case, but I still feel like even the single man, they should try to, at least dance with as many women as they can so we all can enjoy ourselves. So, everybody can have fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Questions. We talk about the ladies out there. How
Hmm.
important is or do you guys do line dancing at your parties?
Yes, we do.
Okay. How important is line dancing to you guys out there?
So line dancing is important. It's kind of like, for instance, on our flyer we have line dancing, old school, so forth and so on. But I noticed now that a lot of women are prone to line dancing and more songs with the line dancing because
Hmm.
we had a situation, Kevin and I, where we didn't play enough line dancing.
Okay.
So
Really?
let us know, yeah, like we had like it's just one of those perks with them being promoters and throwing events. Some people may feel like it's not enough line dancing. Some people
Mhm.
may feel like it's too much line dancing. So you got to try to meet in the middle because some people are coming to step and line dance and walk,
Mhm.
as well. So you just can't have stepping and no walking or stepping and no line dancing because that song is out. Where them fans at, amongst other songs. And
Mhm.
I notice a lot of women like to get out there and do those dances. So what we're trying to do now is play a couple more songs,
Okay.
you know, so the people who do what we call it hustling, but line dancing,
Mhm.
so they can have fun as well, so they won't feel like they was left out on it or they only got two songs. So it's kind of with trial and error. We learned, okay, play more line dancing songs, don't just play one or two. So now we're going to play more for the people who like the line dance as well. So I
Excellent.
think, yeah, I think you should have more line dancing. And some people say even with walking, we need more walking. I feel like everybody should be happy, but you can't make everybody happy. But
Right.
I feel like at least try,
Right.
you know. So
But
more line dancing. Hmm.
yeah, I know for sure if you don't play boots on the ground now.
Oh
Maddie
wow.
B and the rest of them people
Maddie
come with
B
their
and
little fan.
where
They
them
be
fans.
I'm thinking they about to do a karate movie or something. They're like, what?
Where them fans. And I keep trying to flick that fan. I'm trying to get it. I
You
almost
ain't got
got
it yet. You ain't got the
I
fan.
ain't got it. It's they
Oh.
say it's in the wrist, so I'll be out there,
So
you know.
now we know. So now everybody, when y'all see Trina, say Trina, let me see you pop your fan. We're gonna see how long it
Oh, really? No, you.
takes.
We got the same birthday. You can't do that. You gotta. You
you
can't
you
tell my
you
secret.
you know what? I know you excel in everything you do. And then here's the thing too. And if they too many people ask you, you could just, you know.
Right. Just hit them with a 1-2. Right.
Right. So hey, listen, I appreciate you hanging out. We're gonna wrap some things up here, but let me ask you this. Third year, congratulations, much success. I see more for you to come in the upcoming years. How do you after y'all finish and y'all decompress and you look back at the year, how do you say, man, we got to top that one last year? How does that go?
So you look at after everything play out, and you get come back to reality after everything, because in that time frame you're like everything in place. You kind of just sit back and you look at it like a blueprint. You look at all the things that went right, all the things that went wrong, and you listen to the complaints or the non-complaints, and then you try to put it all together. You may have people that say, like we were talking about line dance, we need more line dancing, and you just take things into consideration and you just tweak it. You say, well, we're gonna do this year. Like for instance, this year we're honoring the Texas boys.
Mhm.
They having a 10th anniversary. So we're going to honor them. We're honoring Cheryl Poe and Art from GDI. We're going to honor them. We're going to celebrate Sunshine. It's her birthday. That's her birthday weekend. So she's going to be having the ball there. We're going to bring people in like Sherry Gordon. We're going to bring in Westside Mike, world largest winners. Everybody know they be getting down. We got Drew coming back. Drew been with us for 3 years now. And
Mhm.
Christine, people love to see them dance. So when you put all that together and you have the good DJs like Myron, Samsonite, George, you know, Pony Mac, and you put all that together and you look at it from a far, like from a different perspective and say, well, was this good? What can I do better? Can I tweak this? Can I bring this person? Can I change this? And you try to tweak it based off what the steppers say, because that's who your main consumers are, is the steppers.
Right.
So it's not like you have a suggestion box, but people 9 times out of 10 are going to say, hey, I had fun, or why y'all didn't play a little bit more walking music, or and you just take it into accountability and say, you know what, I got you next time. And you just build. It's going to be trial and error. But
Mhm.
you just keep going and you look at the mistakes you made prior to that year, and then you just make some adjustments and you keep going. You don't really necessarily worry about the competition, because the competition is heavy. If it's a McDonald's, it's a Burger King across the street.
Right.
White Castle's next door, Wendy's over here. So you have to just, it's about what you have. It's your product. You got to just keep pushing your product that you have
Mhm.
and keep adding to it to finesse it and tweak it and make it so everybody will want to come down and step in Huntsville. And that's kind of like the basis of being a promoter. You want to, try to look at prior parties or things that's going on, pick and tweak, like, okay, that's good. I like that flow. I like that DJ. I like this. It's hard work, but you make it happen. You sit back, look at all the good, the pros and the cons, and you just keep going, change it, and make it better for the next year, and have everybody come out and have a good time. Because, like I said, we all working and having a 9 to 5, got things going on in life. But for me, it's therapeutic. Stepping, when I'm out there on that flow, I don't think about no bills, no nothing until I get to the car. And I'm like,
Right.
wow, it ain't life for you. But in there, I just heard the music. So.
Excellent. Well, we thank you for hanging out with us, and thank you for the breakdown. We're excited about it, and so obviously this is your third year, and you
Hmm.
you guys are going to keep going, right? It's not this.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop at year three. We're gonna see.
No, we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep improving and improving, you know, and just keep the ball rolling. Why should we stop? Why?
Right.
It's stupid in Huntsville. So Kevin and I, we gonna keep rolling because we work great together. And where our fall short, he comes in. So It's all working.
Yeah,
It's
Kevin's
great.
got his Chicago and Milwaukee background, so
He's from Chicago,
very familiar with it.
So yeah, definitely. He knows. So yeah.
Excellent. So fellas, get your gators ready, get your
Get
suit.
him ready.
Come on out. It's gonna be a great time. Trina's gonna step with all the guys and just it's gonna be a fun time. July 25th to the 27th.
27th. Yep, here in Huntsville.
All right. Well, we thank you for hanging out with us and giving us all this great information, and we look forward to your success. And we can't wait to you come back on Club Step and give us a breakdown of how it went and and what's next.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And everybody get y'all tickets and come out to Steppin in Huntsville. And men, come on out with y'all tailor-mades, the hats and everything else. Because, we're going to be looking to see what y'all come with. It is a cash prize. So
cash prize. Okay. Is it a winner take all, or is it first, second, third, or?
We're going to have first and second place.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
we're going to have first and second place.
Yeah. So third place, you just get you get an extra plate of food.
Thank you for coming out.
All right. So that means their game got to be
A1. Gotta be game tight. Come on out with it. Like I said, we said gators or ostrich. Some people have ostrich. Or shark or somebody else. So just come on out. July 25th through the 27th here in Huntsville.
Cool. I'm gonna pull out this new one called a fox.
A fox,
like a fox, like it's gonna be so dope. They ain't gonna know what it is. They're gonna be like, what is that? I'm like, yeah, that's what it is. Y'all ain't up on this.
Are you gonna come out with that fox, huh?
Yeah.
Now, it's gonna be 100 and something. It's probably gonna be like 100 degrees. So
okay.
Just have some ventilation on that fox.
So we're gonna wear it real quick then. It's gonna be a flat.
Oh yeah. Come in and take it off.
Right. Quick turn, quick pop.
Real quick. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for having me, Lamont.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for being on the Business of Steppin. All right, everybody. We'll have another show next week, same time. And we'll keep it talking about the business of Steppin. Until then, peace. Don't forget to listen to clubsteppin.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And talk to you soon.
All right.
Introducing an exclusive Club Steppin program, AirShare.
AirShare is a time-limited package created especially for small businesses or organizations to get their message out by sharing prime commercial time at a low cost. This package gives clients maximum exposure with shared overhead. For more information, call 773-770-5915 or email
sales@clubsteppin.com.
Clubsteppin.com presents